Welcome to Grade 1 View, the podcast for future CRNAs by future CRNAs, a partnership between AANA and Beyond the Mask.
Whether you're about to graduate from a nurse anesthesia program, trying to get accepted to nursing school, or you're somewhere in between.
This podcast is a resource and safe space for all things nurse anesthesia.
We're your Season 2 host team. I'm Levi Davis.
I'm Kelsey Muir.
I'm Mackenzie Lane.
And I'm Nicholas Alexander. So grab your Mac or your Miller, turn up your flows, and get ready, because this is Grade 1 View.
Hello, and welcome back to Grade 1 View. This is Kelsey, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Levi. And with this episode, it's kind of a full circle moment for the podcast because we have a familiar voice and name that our listeners already know and love from Season 1, and that is Kevin Chem.
The difference now is Kevin is no longer a resident. He is Dr. Kevin Chem, DNP CRNA extraordinaire, and he's coming up on almost a full year in practice. And as third-year students ourselves, we're getting closer and closer to that transition point. Graduation, boards, credentialing, first jobs, first solo cases, all the stuff that feels equally exciting and slightly terrifying at the same time.
Exactly. So today we wanted to have a real conversation about what that transition actually looks like, and not just the highlight reel, but everything in between too. So we're talking about the final stretch of school, studying for and taking boards, selecting your first job, walking into the OR as a CRNA for the first time, and what the first year out has honestly been like. So welcome, Kevin. We're so excited to have you back.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I couldn't leave for too long. I'm always on the periphery now after being on Grade 1 View. It's cool to be back, and you guys have obviously, that intro, we weren't like that. We weren't going back and forth like that. So you guys are obviously improving and doing well and everything. So congratulations and thanks for having me.
Yeah, building on your legacy, man. You guys did great Season 1, and we're super excited to take the baton from you guys.
And now that you've had that full year of experience almost, you are the perfect person to kind of chat with in this situation. So thanks again.
Yeah. We both want to be in your seats, and I'm pretty sure our other co-hosts, Mackenzie and Nicholas, even more want to be in your seat because they're behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it goes by very fast, but like when you're in it, it's hard. Like what is it? You blink and it goes by, and it's just people blinking really fast trying to make it go by faster.
Yes,
exactly.
I feel like a pet peeve of mine that I have developed probably mid-year 2 in the midst of hell. Mm-hmm. I was like so annoyed when people were like, "You're almost there. Yeah, the light's at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Stop saying
you're
that.
Only 6 months." I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Still sucks.
You're not the one actually doing it. So.
I don't appreciate your positivity right now.
Right. Exactly. Tell us about that last few months of school. I've heard it's the most grueling.
Yeah, man. I think for me, we were front loaded, so I was still mostly clinical. But once you start getting to that 2 months left, whatever, boards really starts looming over your head. And it's like this monster that's under your bed. And that's where it kind of was getting stressful there. So my program was pretty good at just saying, you're going to be at clinical till the last day, but, make sure that you're studying now because we want you to be successful for that too. So really, the last 3 months, what I would do is go to clinical, and I had that big Apex book, and I was just filling that out. I was just getting ready. And that really was what my last months of clinical kind of pertained. People in the clinical realm, they start to trust you. I went back to the same clinical site I started at, and it was really cool. It was in Columbia, South Carolina, which is a city that I hold near and dear to my heart. And it wasn't bad. It was just I was tired of sleeping in hotel rooms and going to clinical around that point. Very, very normal to be like, I'm done with this around then. Yeah,
I bet. And I'm sure you ran into preceptors that let you loose. You were running your own room. And then there was also people that were still trying to kind of corral you in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I've heard from senior students that have graduated, that last part is just let me do my thing.
I know. And I knew I think one of my strong suits is being able to read the room, and also just realizing some people, we're just not going to be on the same wavelength. There's nothing I can do about it because of this power dynamic that's going on right here. So I'm like, all right, whatever. You
Yeah,
want
that's so true.
yeah,
I think that the further you get along in this program, like the
yeah,
less fight I have. So I'm like, listen,
yeah, yeah,
if this is what you want, I will do it. I really
yeah.
don't care at this point.
Just tell me what to do. Okay, I'm not even. It's fine. And then, I mean, really, once you graduate, you guys, it's like you're out there, and it's like, okay, go run your room, and it's like, oh my god. But you get
Yeah.
used to it. You get used to it.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
So, Kevin, you already kind of alluded to the fact that you were kind of doing a lot of Apex for prep. Is there anything else that you did in particular to kind of help you prepare for boards, or was that something kind of built into your program?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think I'm a guy who's like, I just really like anesthesia a lot, and like I like my career a lot. So I'm always researching. I'm always on Reddit, just keeping a pulse on the politics of all of our profession. I think just based off of research and also what folks have just said that came before me was just pick one resource and stick to it, and that for me was Apex. I did also not do that just because I just wanted to see what would happen. So what else is there? Prodigy, I think, something like that.
Prodigy and
Yeah,
Valley.
exactly. I just like try to do practice tests with Prodigy. Bad idea. Like the questions just are not formatted the same whatsoever. So you'll be really good at Apex, and then you'll jump over to Prodigy, and it will be like, yeah, I'm
Hmm.
not doing good on these practice tests at all, and now I feel
Hmm.
terrible, and now do I need to push my test date back? Yada yada yada.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I really think that what you need to do is just stick to Apex. And I don't know if this is going to be like, why is this guy endorsing Apex? I don't care. Whatever. Just stick to Apex. Just do the Apex. Take the practice tests, all that kind of stuff, and you'll be just fine. Like one resource is good. Apex is tried and true at this point. They're doing it well. I will give a plug to Josh Olson and Olivate. I just
Mhm.
they're now we have enough time now where people are anecdotally saying that it's helped them. When I was coming in the game, it wasn't there, so I was like, well, maybe this will work. But he is. I
Mhm.
mean, they very tweaked it. Him and April have extraordinarily tweaked Olivate to the point where there's now research where people are like, yeah, my C went up 50 points basically by just using this gamification app.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so I do give them props, and I think it's it is like Duolingo. So again, for someone who kind of obsesses over things, I would do Apex and then just lay in bed or do whatever else and just do some Olivate questions.
That's what I do
And
before I go
yeah,
to bed. Is I open up Olivate and I start clicking through questions.
yeah, and it's fun, man. It's a good time. They have a new logo. It's a doggy. It's cute.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen the new doggy. I
It's a
must
dog.
have
It's
to.
cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I-
So
I'm gonna have to
they're doing
re-download it.
everything right. It's very tried and true. It's A&A backed. I can get behind that. So if I were to do it again, I feel like I really I did it well. Whereas 3 months out, I took the big book, I started filling it out, and then I did Apex every day, and then really like 2 weeks out, ramped it. Like I had to go to annual
Okay.
Congress. I was so annoyed, but I didn't regret it because I was helping speaking to residents. But when I came back, I just deleted all my social media and I just did Apex for 2 weeks straight. Like I
That
did
was
Okay.
smart.
I did Apex for 2 weeks. I did not come outside. I had some students in the year below me in my apartment, and they just saw me like in the study room the whole time.
They're like, get some sunshine.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like
Have you
I didn't
eaten
do
today?
yeah, have you eaten? No, I was like, I need to get the HE double hockey sticks out of Augusta, Georgia. I need my ticket out of here. I'm done with this. So I studied my behind out. I will say, like, there's strategies to it. 2 weeks before, I was waking up at the exact same time that my test was. I would have my coffee, I would
Oh,
have
that's
my
smart.
Cliff Bar, and I would take a practice test at the same
Okay.
time that my test was. And then I would give it a second. I would look outside the window at downtown Augusta, and I would just and then I would see what I did wrong, what my weakest section was, and then I would go redo that whole section in Apex.
Okay.
And I
Love
rinsed
that.
and repeated that for like 2 weeks straight,
Nice.
and that really that helped.
People don't realize is sometimes when you're sitting down, you're taking whether it's the C or your boards,
Mhm.
that you have an X amount of time, to take a question really because you have to
Yes.
get moving on to the next one.
Yep.
And so it's kind of like putting yourself in that mindset. And then I love the fact of like going back, seeing where your weak areas are, and then just revisiting that and kind of rinse and repeat. Cause I think that's the only way things are going to really sit.
Yeah, for sure.
Sit
Yeah,
with you.
For sure.
So
And it's the stamina too. I mean, those practice
Yes.
tests were what? Because okay, you guys are gonna have to remind me because I've trauma dumped all of it. But like,
that's fair.
the minimum questions is how many? It's like 100, correct?
I think so for the NCE, but the C is 40
Yeah,
or
yeah, the
50.
Yeah.
C, yeah, the C. That's wild. Yeah,
That's
and
the
then
marathon.
that's
the one you have
wild.
to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so the practice test would usually be 170 questions. So I was prepared, and I had in my head timed how long a question could be, and did that in the practice tests. So when I got there in real time, I kind of had in my head how long I had per question.
Yeah. And I
And
know with the first
yeah.
C, when I sat for that one,
Mhm.
if it was a question that I read it and I was like, I have no idea what this was, I didn't waste time. I just clicked something and moved
Yep.
on because I was like, man, don't know what this is.
Exactly.
I'm not going to waste time.
I know. I don't, the NBCRNA, I don't really, they're the association I don't really have a relationship with yet. But something about the C is just, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. You
That
know
was
what I'm
one thing I
saying?
wanted to ask you is like compare the C versus the NCE. Like, what do you think?
Dude, I don't know. Well, it's so funny. That schools will just be like, yeah, just take the C. I'll be like, what are you talking about? At the in your first year,
Yeah.
they'll be like, yeah, just take it. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then they'll just like surprise when you don't do that great. And then you have to do it again. And I don't know. My C, I think the C was harder. It's always your miles may vary. But I think it was harder. But also like when your life is riding on a test, you're gonna study your butt off for it. And that's
That's so
exactly
true.
like I'll be honest with you guys, like I studied so hard, boards was like not hard for me. Like I just
Okay.
like walked in there, and the
That's what I'm
ladies
hoping for.
the lady was like, wow, that's the fastest anyone's ever taken it. And it was like, well, actually I just timed every question for the equal amount of time until it shut off. So, yeah, I don't know. Just if you're prepared, it's not bad.
That's
And
what I'm hoping. I'm
also,
hoping by graduation, I'm like ready to get my sit pass and just sit like the next
yes.
day if they'll let me. Like, just let me walk in there and
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I think we're all obviously a little bit nervous because, of the big announcement coming out that with July, boards are going to be changing, getting a little bit harder. So that's
Yeah.
definitely adding a little pressure, I think, to students that are graduating
Yeah.
past the month of July.
Yeah.
So definitely something to just kind of consider about for folks that are a little bit later in the year, which is, of course, going to be
Yes,
Levi
of
and
course.
I.
That's how that works.
Yes.
That's
And
how
it's
that
so
works.
it's so
So
ambiguous. So like what they want from the changes. They're saying that the scores are going to be needing to be higher, the threshold's higher, but the test isn't changing. So
But the
we're trying to
pass
get
rate
some
isn't.
answers for that. Yeah. Yeah. They
Yeah.
say the pass rate's too high, so they're trying to bring it down.
mhm.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was thinking that, you guys like at the end of the day, the pass rate is like 86%, So I feel like if you apply yourself and you don't mess around, you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
I really think that the people I've met who haven't passed, they can kind of willfully admit that they weren't 100% locked in for it. Even if it goes down, what is it gonna go down to, 70%?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I really do think like if you're smart enough to go into CRNA school, you're smart enough to just study for a month, 6 months straight,
Yeah.
and you'll be just fine. That's my
Okay.
2 cents. It could be a super hard test and it jumps down to 50%. Then we might have a problem. But
We won't talk about that.
Yeah, then we'll
Yeah,
talk
let's-
about it.
Let's not speak that into fruition.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
let's-
exactly. Yeah, but I don't think
positive
that's
vibes
gonna
only.
happen. When is the test? When is that rolling out? Because I've
July.
not been in that space.
Mhm.
July.
July.
Okay. July.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys graduate in
December.
December, both of us.
Okay. No, so there'll be like 3 months of data. We can
Yeah,
talk to people
right?
about it. Yeah. We'll see what
We'll be fine.
happens.
We're
We'll either
fine.
cry or we'll be
Fine.
fine. Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be
Great,
fine.
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
Feels
speaking
great.
of being fine, describe the moment that you got that printed piece of paper when you walked out and you got that paper that said pass.
Yeah, usually I'm a humble guy, but like I kind of had a feeling. I was like, yeah, I think I got this in the bag.
Nice.
I was like, I think I got this in the bag. So when I got that, I was like, oh my God, it's finally over. Because it is like dude, it's like 3 weeks of feeling like anxiety, like to the max. You know what? Like
Nice.
I literally like
Mhm.
you go to sleep. I'm not gonna lie. Like leading up to the exam, it's just every day your heart is racing. You're just
Mm.
thinking about this test, and how like my whole life has gotten up to it. And like, what if I actually fail 8 times and I have to redo a whole CRNA program? Like all of those thoughts just loom in your head the whole time. And how embarrassing it would be if you had to take it again.
Oh,
all
yeah.
of that stuff, man. So to finally have that like off of your back is like the greatest weight lifted off your shoulders. I remember,
bet.
dude, after I passed my test, I actually took my test in Columbia, South Carolina, too, where I had my last clinical. It was like an hour from Augusta. Went down to the coffee shop, just sat there, called a bunch of people, celebrated.
Ugh.
It was, yeah, dude, it's amazing.
I'm
And I
gonna
didn't
cry. I'm gonna
Yeah,
like have
dude,
tears
right?
coming down my face.
Yeah, yeah.
I like have a mixture of where, I'm having palpitations because I'm
Yes.
thinking about this, but then I'm
Yeah.
also very excited
I know.
at the same
No,
time to
I'm
come
just
out on the
excited
other
for that
side,
relief.
so
The
Dude,
relief.
it's
yeah.
scary. And I wouldn't change it, man. If I didn't have like a big hurdle that was in my life, it wouldn't feel like earned. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that.
that's so
You know what I
true.
mean? Yeah. Like, what do you
Mhm.
want them to just walk? You want to just walk out and they hand you your certificate? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because,
exactly.
I mean, not all anesthesia providers are board certified.
Mhm.
But all
This is
CRNAs
true.
are. And it's nice to just have that last thing to just say, like, hey, I'm competent. I know what I'm doing. Work really hard. Take that test. Don't tell anybody you're taking that test when you're taking the. I
Yeah.
lied to all my. I'm not a liar at
That's
all.
what
but
I'm gonna
lied,
do.
Yeah, I lied to all my family. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take it in like 2 weeks, and I took it like 2 weeks before I said I was gonna take it.
Yeah. I told my wife, I was like, you're going to be the only one to know, and you better be outside with like a bottle of champagne ready, like shake
Yeah.
it and spray it
Yeah,
when I'm walking
yeah,
out.
exactly. Because we
And
gonna
then
drink
we'll
that
tell everybody.
champagne either way if I pass or fail.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Touche.
Maybe
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
spray it until you know that
Don't,
I passed. We might
don't
want
spray
that.
it. Yeah. Plastic cups or glass cups. You know what I mean? But
You're gonna be crying into your champagne.
exactly.
They tears of joy or
Exactly.
tears
Yeah, or tears of I need the champagne.
disappointment.
Yeah, so that's another tip. I would just say, like, don't tell. I only told my 2 friends who, while I was at annual Congress, took it. And really were just supporters and emotionally while I was taking it. But other than that, like, I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my faculty. I lied to everybody. And it really takes a good amount of pressure off as well,
Yeah.
Because then if you fail, you can just like not.
So
take
your
anything or
faculty
take it
doesn't
again.
know.
No, your faculty doesn't know when you're going to take it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't
I
think
thought
they
you knew.
have to because you're the one that
Okay.
you're the one
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely know when you fail. So, yeah, they probably get an instant iPhone notification like, yep, they failed. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it. We're not talking about
Yeah,
that.
we're not talking about that. Yeah, they're
No,
not. Yeah,
no.
it's
Like I said.
Yeah. I mean, you talk to faculty, and it's just like,
Palpitations right now.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're like. I'm sure the airway exchange folks can talk on it. Why they like take such pride in it, but.
Mhm.
Pass rates are very important to them, so they're very aware.
Yes.
But no, one of the first people I called was my program director right after, just to say, because they check in and they want you to call and they want to celebrate with you too, because that's the real celebration. Like, graduation is a fake celebration. It ain't even,
Yeah.
everyone's like, we're not even done yet. I got to go study after I return my sweaty cap and gown.
Sports.
Exactly.
Sports.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's how that goes. Yeah, man. No, it's a whirlwind. But after that, you get to sit there and wait 2 months for like all your credentialing to go through
Yes.
and not do anything.
Well, that's perfect because that actually leads us
Yeah.
into our next kind of topic, which is
Yeah.
choosing your first job and kind of
Oh.
credentialing. So,
Yeah.
can you kind of walk us through that process? Like, did you have a job already,
Mhm.
a couple months prior to graduation? Were you someone that kind of waited and wanted to get through some more clinicals and just what that whole process, like I said, kind of looked like for you?
Yeah, man. No, I always knew that I was going to sign with this group in Phoenix, even when they like weren't aware with me. Guide anesthesia here. It's just my, the whole triangle of a job, salary, location, autonomy. It's just, this is like the cream of the crop job for me. So, I'm surrounded by higher buildings right now, but I still do a job where I'm calling the shots, basically. That was important to me. I knew a lot of the top dogs of the group, and I was like, yeah, I'm joining that. So I knew for a while I was going to be in Arizona. So I think I signed if I graduated August, I probably signed like January of that year. So like
Okay.
7-8 months, not terrible. It's not terrible at all. I got a little sign-on bonus for it that was immediately just like gone. You know how that works.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
cool. Like,
Mhm.
it's just, I don't know where it went. It's not here anymore. Yeah, it's just like, I have
Take
no clue.
money.
Yeah.
I don't know where the money went. It's just gone
Uh-huh.
though. What was the other question, Kelsey?
No, just about kind of credentialing, what that process, like how long did it take you? What are there things that people should kind of be aware of?
Yeah.
With that.
That's a good point. So even before I graduated, your credentialing people should work with you, especially if you're like going to a different state. So I was sending in fingerprints and stuff like that, like right after I got my job. So I already got an Arizona RN license. So all they needed to do was see my CRNA license, and then we were just good to go. So, I mean, it's a pretty seamless process. Then again, it varies hospital by hospital. So like our ambulatory surgery center, that's a lot smaller. Credentialing was pretty soon, but our big level 1 trauma that we also cover took a few months. And you can't do anything about that. You just have to sit and wait, basically. But my job was able to start me a little sooner at the ASCs and then transition me into the level 1 trauma later. Now, if you're signing to just like one building, you might just, you pass. You already have your RN license in that state. You give them your stuff, and there's nothing you can do but wait. It might take a few weeks. It might take like 1 or 2 months, and there's not much you can do but wait. And that's okay, though, because
I'm
you've been
fine
doing
with
a lot
that.
of working. You've been doing a lot of working. It is a little precarious, though, when it's like...
Time to decompress, right?
Yes, exactly. But it is precarious, though, if you don't get a sign-on bonus in that period, because it's like, I'm just going to get a credit card.
I have some like crap credit cards with a good limit on it that I've just saved for that time period. So I don't even have to stress, but I can just like take the time off. It's the only time between now and retirement that I'll have truly off, no job, no school.
Yes.
I'm like, absolutely. I'm taking that time. I don't care if it takes 3 months. Like that sounds great to me.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And I keep saying this in every single little ANA thing that I've been a part of. It's like, there's 3 months where you don't make money, by the way. like the first time where you don't get the student loan payout. It's like, yeah, by the way, you're not getting paid this month. So yeah, just be ready for it. If you don't have people supporting you, or if you're just not mentally prepared to just be a few thousand in debt for like moving or just living.
Some folks had actually even told me for those couple months, like especially whether you still have a car payment or something, whether they could actually defer a payment for a month or two if you've had really good credit with them in the past and you've been, been paying on time, that people have actually deferred some things for just a few months until that first paycheck kind of is in their account. And
can we send my degree to underwriting?
Yeah. I promise I'm good for it. Yeah.
Something to consider,
That's a really, I hadn't even thought about that, to be honest with you. Someone asked me, I was in an APRN conversation circle, and they were like, can you work in that time period? And I was like, I mean, I guess if you want to, I just wouldn't do that. Yeah. No. Like as a nurse, they were asking if you could just like pick up as a nurse. And I was like, I guess you can. Yeah. But I wouldn't do that. So there's things you can do. But yeah, no, there's just this little lull period. And then you start working again. And I'm sure we're transitioning into like the first few months of working as the next question.
That was exactly it. Walk us through your first day as a sole CRNA provider.
Yeah. So the thing is, I was just talking to Larry about this because he was like, I'm starting my first day soon. Can you give me some tips? And really my one tip is like, it's gonna be rough. Like I think a lot of people come out, again, there's like the negative talk. Don't come at me with positivity.
There goes the palpitations again, Kelsey.
Exactly.
I love the honesty. Though,
no, it's going to be rough. No, because I think a lot of nurse anesthesia residents, I think, we're always taught like you're trained to be independent providers, you're trained to be competent, and all of that is true. But like, you're going to need a damn second, so you're going to need to warm up. You got to learn where stuff is. You have to learn how to do anesthesia again because it's been a few months. So, I remember my first few weeks just being like, this is a little rough right now. Just because, again, you're coming back. You're basically orienting to a new clinical site if you haven't, gone to clinical at your new place too. Yeah. And that's always rough, right. And then you're doing cases that maybe you didn't do at your last spot. So you're not in the mindset. So you gotta just, stay humble and just kind of, eat it for a little bit. Just, whatever crap they give at you, it was not that fun. The first, I want to say the first 2 months of my job were like not that fun. And I was like, oh God, am I cut out for this? And I don't know, there was like a thing at my job. It was like there were growing pains going on at my job at the time. So it was like, I just felt like there was a lot working against me at the time. But I just keep showing up. I always tell people, just keep showing up. And eventually, like, if other human beings can do it, you can too. And that's exactly what happened. And now I show up and everyone loves me and they like scream out my name down the hall and stuff. So exactly. Like I'll do lunch breaks and like people will freak out when I walk in the OR now. So you just need a second. You just need to give yourself some grace. Realize you're going to suck for a bit. Nobody's going to fire you. Like it's just that's not going to happen. Like unless you're grossly incompetent, which I'm sure neither of y'all or anyone who takes the time to listen to Grade 1 View it's going to be just fine. You need first of all, I think my boss recently just said 2 to 3 years post graduation is where you actually reach proficiency, and I really would say 6 months is where you're like, okay, I think I can actually do this after continuously showing up and just doing your best.
Yeah. I have a friend that's at the clinical site that I'm at now, and she graduated a year ago now. So, but she didn't start until probably August or September. So she's hitting that 6 to 8 month mark now, and she finally doesn't look like distraught in the hallway. And she's like,
Yeah.
I promise I feel so much better. Like I've got it down now and down
Yes.
pat. And she
Yeah.
was giving me confidence and like, you have a support system, get to a place that has good culture and good mentorship. So you have that phone call that's like, hey, I need a rescue, or
Yeah.
hey, I had a
Yeah.
bad day today, help me out, kind of thing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, it's you think you're gonna be good after you graduate and life's all golden, but it's a blessing and a curse that there's still growing to be had after you graduate.
Kevin, quick question for you. The site that it sounds like
Mhm.
you work at surgery centers and level 1 trauma.
Yeah.
Did they pair you kind of like with a buddy for your first couple weeks? Did they try to get you through different specialties? Like, I know everybody with, new CRNAs kind of does the whole onboarding process a little bit
Yeah.
differently, but if you
Yeah.
could kind of maybe just speak to that.
Yeah, okay, so at the surgery center, it was like, I want to say a week. No, it was 2 weeks with somebody just kind of peripherally around. So, they would tell me what they would do and then just send me on my merry way, basically. The first few days, the first 1 or 2 days, they were like there with induction, helping me out, telling me what they would do. And then after that, they would kind of just sit in the break room and I would do the whole thing and they'd be around in case I needed anything. My group is decently good at helping with that. But then after those 2 weeks, I was basically on my own. The good thing is you do research about your groups before and you make sure that you're going to be good and there's going to be people around. So we always had like a floater who could walk in the room or something like that. And our group actually does like Google Docs that are encrypted, obviously, all that stuff that have like tip sheets for every like surgeon that we work with and stuff like that too. So we have like reference
nice.
sheets and that sort of thing. And if they don't have that, like I would have just started my own too, just to remember preferences and all that stuff.
I already do that as a student.
Exactly. So
Same.
kind of the same thing. And then, after I went to the ASC, I went to the level 1 trauma. And so we, as a group, hire the physician anesthesiologists. So the all of them are very pro CRNA and pro CRNA independence. They're basically there because of bylaws of the hospital saying that we need a supervisor. But regardless, they're very, very, very nice to us and all that stuff. So I had a lot of support from them and also other CRNAs too. And I got like 1 or 2 days orientation there. But I don't know, as long as I really think communication is key and just talking to people and getting everyone's phone number and asking them for advice. That's the best thing you could do. And that's what I would do, even off orientation. So yeah, in a roundabout way, yes, I got like 2 weeks of orientation is your answer, Kelsey.
I feel like some places kind of throw you in the deep end and it's kind of
Yeah.
like a sink or swim type situation. And
Yes.
there's some
Yes.
places where I've heard where it's like, very much like you're kind of buddied up, like, your buddy will be in the OR kind of maybe right next door and,
Yeah.
can just kind of peek in on you in between cases, that kind of stuff. So, I know every place, like I said, every state does it a little bit differently. We obviously we've discussed on this podcast, what practice looks like in different
Yeah.
states as well. So
Yeah.
it is going to vary. We understand that. So I guess kind of leading into this, what do you think something you worried about as a resident that doesn't really matter now?
This is the first thing I thought of. I don't know if it's necessarily true that it doesn't matter, but like other staff's opinion on my anesthetic, I'm less and less caring about.
Okay.
I think,
Yeah.
as a resident, you're like, oh my God, the staff is gonna think that like I take too long to wake up. And it's like, no, I don't do that at all. For example, you could tell this person was going to take a second to wake up. And if they didn't take a second, they would try to attack everybody and be like scared. Basically. You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
obviously like we needed to take time with this wake up. And I'm at a
Mhm.
surgery center where time is money to a lot of people's opinion. And we need to do turnover. But I took my time with that wake up. So I think that really is where I'm starting to get now as a provider and as one who has sort of established himself. I think though it sucked at the beginning, staying and making yourself a known character at a place really does help give you some power to kind of say your opinions.
Yeah.
So now whenever I get like, oh, why is it taking so long? I'm like, well, this is someone's family member that I'm taking care of and I'm making sure
Yeah.
that they're waking up safely. So
I mean,
If you got to wake up, if you got to wait, you got to wait.
And if something goes wrong, they're going to point at you, is what
Yeah.
I would tell them. I'd be like, and if something goes wrong, like you guys aren't going to get blamed. It'll be me.
I had
Exactly.
a great preceptor say like a couple months ago, which is really, I think, true and valid, is you're not giving anesthesia to the room. So
No.
it's all about that patient. And of
Sometimes
course,
I wish I
Yeah.
could aerosolize Ativan or
Yeah,
something.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly,
and
exactly, man.
unfortunately, a
Yeah.
lot of people may think they know what we do, but in
Yeah.
reality, you know that they're very far off the mark and have no idea. So I
Yeah.
think that's a really good thing, a really valid thing to keep
Yes.
in mind. Is
Exactly.
It's all about the patient, and who cares what else,
Yes.
comments are being made elsewhere.
Yes.
So
No, that's exactly that. That's probably the number one thing is just like, no, it's you. It's always going to be you. And people can huff and puff all day because they want to go home on a Saturday, but I'm going to sit there and take my time. And yeah, that's about it. It really, it's very empowering, honestly, to be like, I'm taking control of this room right now. You guys are going to have to wait a second.
I love
because, this is what matters. Everyone, I don't know what happens. I think I love anesthesia. I love being a CRNA because it really does feel like we are focused on the patient, like through and through the whole time. That's absolutely what matters to me. It's not production pressure. It's not anything. It's why I really do think this is the best job in the world. Because I mean, I'm only like a year in, but it still feels like it not work. It feels more like being a good human being, I guess. And I don't need to get paid to do that. Like I'm keeping somebody safe through surgery. I'm not watching the clock. I'm not seeing how much money I'm getting paid. It's very freeing.
I'm being a safe and good provider for my patients. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
and
awesome.
like a good person who wants to make sure that this kid can go back to his mom or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of good advice, Kevin. I appreciate
Thank you, man.
the advice here. Yeah.
These are just Sunday morning jewels,
Yeah,
We're just hanging out.
There we go. I just want to shift gears here about the IFNA, the International Federation of Nurse Anesthesia. Me and Kelsey want to know more about this trip that you just took to Australia.
Yeah.
We didn't even know that there was an international. That's what Kelsey was saying prior to coming on here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's again, this is just like, I don't know, me being on the internet too much or something like that and just being curious. You just Google stuff. So I had known about them for a while. The first ever Grade 1 View episode was with Jackie Rolls, who is the a head leader within IFNA. I'm not going to say positions because I forgot, to be honest with you, and because I just met so many people there. But she very much was, I believe, president of IFNA this for this cycle. It was really cool because you don't think about CRNAs from all over the world, but I got to meet them, and it was just such an interesting experience. I enjoyed it.
What was the conference all about? Were there, just discussing what's going on in an international level with CRNAs? Was there education? Like what kind of things were discussed at the conference?
Okay. Yeah, this is a very, very good question. I guess my personal connection globally is that I have family. My parents came from the genocide, Cambodia, 60s, 70s, right? My parents, both of my parents, literally walking through internment camps because the Khmer Rouge took everybody from the city to the jungle because they wanted to basically do like a day zero socialist regime. I think I lost like an aunt there because they had to march across, like literally, they had to like march across the country, basically. They were like trying to save ammunition, so they would kill people in other ways, that sort of thing, right? So the country has been rebuilding since the 80s, basically. So, and of course, wherever there's shortages or there's need, CRNAs pop up. So there are a lot of CRNAs there. There are CRNAs in other countries that I interviewed, like Finland. I met a really cool guy from Morocco, Croatia. It's cool to see that there are a lot of CRNAs from different countries. The problem globally right now is there's absolutely no standardization whatsoever. Literally, I think in Cambodia, it's just like, here's a machine, you're a nurse, figure this out. Not actually, but like, we're going to teach you how to do this without getting a doctoral program. It's scary, but also it's like, that's kind of like what CRNAs were at day zero. Like if you think about how the profession started when anesthesia just started, that really is
Correct.
What it was.
Yeah.
It was nurses advocating for patients and being there to fill a need, right? So what we're trying to do, I say it like I'm part of IFNA, what we're trying to do is standardize education for CRNAs globally, right? So the goal right now is master's degree for a lot of these programs of some sort, and recognition, like title recognition within countries. Because regardless if you think that they're there or not, in most countries, especially the third world developing countries. They are there. They're the only ones there for patients.
Mhm.
I met a guy from Morocco, and he like has cranked people before because he was like the provider there in the whole hospital, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, and so you really you see how much of a grasp our country, not our country, our profession has globally. It's something you don't think about, and again, it's kind of like we're kind of like the underdog, but like without us, a lot would go wrong. So it's something you take a lot of pride in. So that's what IFNA is about, and also sort of just again on a global level, bringing the whole profession together. So
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
definitely a
yeah,
big picture view. I like that
yeah,
hearing like that. It's like a global effect.
yes, yes.
Can you maybe just discuss or allude to international opportunities for CRNAs if you
Yeah.
kind of know anything about that?
Yeah, a lot of it, like, I really do doubt, like, you can't really move to a country and, change to be a CRNA there. Like, unless you really speak the language, like, well,
Yeah.
then maybe you could. But it is very hard. Practice kind of varies. Morocco, very independent. I think it was like Finland that I talked to, that was basically like ACT model, which is still really cool. France has always had CRNAs, so they're again mostly ACT, but doing a lot of what we do. And then, of course, in any of those developing countries, it's just independent, and they're just like running the show, basically. What I really find empowering is how we, as a country, as U.S. CRNAs, are now going out and empowering CRNAs in other countries. Because I've gotten this because I was talking this last weekend. Mission trips, just like, they're not like, you're just going to go there, tell the other providers to like step away, do some surgeries, take some Instagram pictures with vulnerable people, and then go home. Like, that's not the goal. So the goal of IFNA and us are going there, helping those CRNAs get standardized education, training them to be, more advanced than where they are right now, empowering them, and then coming back and keeping an established connection. And I think that's really where we as US CRNAs can come in and help.
I like that link. I like that link that you
Yeah.
just made, 'cause
Yeah.
it really clicked for me too. Because I was thinking this was more of a missions trip kind of thing, but how you just
Yeah.
described it was perfect. That really clicked for me.
No, yeah, absolutely. So I'm really hoping to get more involved with that, especially back in the country where my lineage is from. But yeah, it was fun. I will say, networking is always a good time. We had a little like there was their last little going away thing, and I just sat down with the Japanese delegation, and then all of a sudden the Moroccans came, and then all of a sudden the Cambodians were sitting here, and then Richard
Wow.
Henker from the U.S. was right in front of me, and we were talking.
That's cool.
And there were just like two people speaking Japanese, and then France has kind of had run-ins with both Morocco and Cambodia, so they were speaking French on the other side, and then there was like a CRNA from Spain over there too, and now we're all friends on Facebook.
Wow.
And yeah, and
Networking for sure.
the ANA people are there too, and all that stuff. So it was fun. I saw Bill
Yeah.
Bruce, the CEO, Shane from the ANA was also there. We obviously are very involved in that too, and it was just heartwarming to see. And I now all of a sudden have a bunch of friends from random corner pockets from around the world.
That's cool.
Yeah, that hopefully I can work with, and I do call colleagues now.
Nice. Okay.
And you got a great trip out of it.
Great
So-
trip.
Yeah.
Australia, yeah. Kelsey, you've been to Australia. I'll say this to my Australian friends. It's kind of like Miami with accents in a lot of ways. It's kind of like Florida with accents in a lot of ways, and the people are a lot more in shape. I don't know. I've been there twice now. The food is like, I don't know if you guys ever watch Family Guy, but it insists upon itself. I feel like it doesn't know what it's doing yet. That's just the joke I have with my Australian friends.
The closest I've ever been to Australia is going to Outback Steakhouse. and
Outback, yeah.
ordering-
Honestly, the
ordering
food's
some
probably as
Aussie
good.
fries.
The food is probably as good.
Okay. Now, Dr. Kevin Chem. The
Yes.
season 2 hosts have added a twist to this podcast.
Yes.
That you all created off in season 1, and now we get to put you in our hot seat.
Oh, love
And
it.
it's time for rapid fire questions.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
just gonna list questions off, And first thing that comes to mind, no overthinking, answer off the cuff.
Okay.
So
If it's clinical, I'm going to be under your bed, though, bro. Do not make me look stupid.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I did that to the Airway Exchange podcast.
Yeah, that's what Greg told me. We were talking about you. We were talking about you. And yeah. Greg was like,
a good time.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go.
I had to. So, bow, bow, bow. Rapid fire questions. That's my soundboard there. I'll go first. Mac or Miller?
None. McGrath.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm tired of all these people saying, I need a Mac or a Miller. No, the best thing to do is do a video so you can safely see the vocal cords and go through, because you never know. You never know what you're going to look at. I need my camera. The only time is when you're having blood and it gets all over the camera. Then Mac 3.
Love it.
Okay, this episode is now over.
Yeah, no, I have my own McGrath. It's my best friend. It's my best friend. It's my favorite thing I've ever bought in my life.
Awesome. Oh, good to know. All right. So favorite induction agent, go.
Propofol and rock.
Love it.
Most overrated anesthesia drug.
I haven't really gotten along with nitrous yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really use it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Go from like most to least stressful. Okay. So most stressful. These are your 3 things.
Okay.
CRNA school interview, boards, or your first solo CRNA case.
Okay.
So most stressful first.
Yes. I think boards definitely most stressful for me. Then first CRNA case, and then interview.
Okay. All right.
I like that. Great.
Yes.
Boards. There goes the palpitations again.
Exactly.
Great.
Yes. No, seriously, that was bad.
Okay. I see you drinking an energy drink right now, but do you drink coffee?
Yeah. Celsius is just wake up late, pop it. I probably shouldn't. I don't know if I'm kidney stones.
Coffee before pre-op or after your first case?
After the first case. I'll have a Celsius on my way to work. And then, I have a Celsius every day before work. And then, if I have time between, I'll sip on some coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing residents obsess over too much.
Social media.
Love it. So true.
I love that. Yes. Yeah. We went to, we had CANA, the California Association had us on. We had Olivia with us, and we talked about social media's influence on students. It was pretty cool. I've got 5 things most important for you: money, location, mentorship, autonomy, or culture.
Culture.
Okay. I like that. I feel like that's a solid one.
Yeah. If you don't, I love my group. We laugh in the break room all the time. It's a great time. Nice. It doesn't feel like work.
Nice.
All right, just a couple more. Okay. First big purchase after graduation.
Oh, this couch right here that my cats have put right here. I never had a real couch before. So this couch and then this like little TV stand right here.
And this high rise that you're sitting in right now.
I know.
Yeah, this high rise that I'm
sitting in. I'm like really jealous. I keep looking behind you.
Yeah. I thought it was a screen like this.
No, that's real. And to my right is Papago Park, and I can see Camelback over there too. So I wake up the mountains.
Nice. Yep. Okay, last question. One word to describe your life right now.
Is there a synonym word for catching up?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, it can be 2 words, I guess. Catching up.
Yeah.
I'll just put a little hyphen there. Catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just catching up with the rest of life, man. Because again, I blew through everything. I'm 27. I blew through everything to get here as fast as I could. And now I'm like figuring out how to cook and like go on dates and stuff. So I'm just
pay off the student loans.
Pay off loans. Yeah. I'm just like figuring out how to be a human and stuff. Like I went snorkeling for the first time. I was like, what is this? And it's weird.
I love that. Oh man. So no board questions like we did to Dr. Greg Collins.
Yes, thank you.
You're lucky.
Save those for Airway Exchange. Yeah.
Hit Louisa with those for me later, please. She would actually like that.
We'll do. I know they both got pretty scared when we were in DC across the room. They were both stunned when I started asking board questions. It was great. I love it.
That's awesome.
Well, Kevin, seriously, thank you for coming back on Grade 1 View and being willing to talk honestly about the transition into your practice. I think this is the kind of episode people really need when they're getting close to the finish line, like Kelsey and I.
Yeah. And for everyone listening in the middle of school right now, whether you're buried in your anesthesia management plans, exhausted from clinical, stressed about boards, or just wondering whether you're actually going to feel ready someday, hopefully this episode gave you a real look into what life can look like on the other side of training.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kevin, again. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, feel free. Anybody listening, any of y'all, reach out whenever. I'm always happy to talk.
Thank you guys for listening to Grade 1 View. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Grade 1 View Podcast and subscribe to Beyond the Mask wherever you get your podcasts.
And if there are topics, guests, or questions you want us to cover this season, please, please, please send us a message, because honestly, some of our best episodes come directly from your ideas.
Thanks again for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you again on the next episode of Grade 1 View.
Hey everyone, big news! We've launched a brand new Beyond the Mask website, professionally redesigned to give you a better experience. It's easier to navigate, better organized, and makes it simple to find episodes, explore our exclusive series, and access helpful resources for CRNAs, including CE credits and the 1099 CRNA Institute. Check it out at beyondthemaskpodcast.com.